गुलाम नवी टेक्नोलॉजी वाला. Now today the topic is to secret the building lost habits. Let's go to ChatGPT and ask some question about this topic. Hi ChatGPT, how are you?
Hey there, I'm doing great. Thank you. How about you?
I want to ask some question about this topic, the secret to building lasting habits. My first question is, what does the preface lasting habits mean to you?
That's a great question. To me, lasting habits means habits that are sustainable over the long term and become a natural part of your routine. It's not just about starting something new, but making sure it sticks and continues to benefit you over time.
Okay. How do most people struggling to maintain new habits over time?
A lot of people struggle with maintaining new habits because they tend to set goals that are too big or too vague, and that can be overwhelming. Other times they lack consistency or don't have a supportive environment. Also, they might not see immediate results, which can make it hard to stay motivated.
Okay. How important is motivation when starting a new habit?
Motivation is definitely important at the start because it gives you that initial push and excitement to begin. However, as time goes on, motivation can waver, so consistency and habit stacking become more crucial for long term success.
Any example about this question?
Absolutely. Think about starting a fitness habit. At first, you might feel super motivated, excited to hit the gym or go for a run. Um, but after a few weeks, that initial motivation might fade. That's when consistency kicks in, and you might rely on setting a specific schedule or pairing the habit with something you already do, like listening to your favorite podcast while exercising. That way, it becomes a natural part of your routine.
Okay. What roles does consistency play in building habits?
Consistency is like the glue that holds a habit together. It helps reinforce the behavior until it becomes second nature. When you're consistent, your brain starts to form strong neural pathways, making the habit easier and more automatic over time. It also helps build trust with yourself, so you're more likely to stick with it in the long run.
Okay. Why is better to start small rather than setting big goals at the beginning?
Starting small is super effective because it makes it more manageable and less overwhelming. When you set tiny, achievable goals, you're more likely to see, which builds momentum and confidence. Over time, you can gradually increase the difficulty. This approach reduces the risk of burnout and so you stay consistent
Please
in the
tell
long
me
run.
if any example about this question.
Absolutely. For example, if you develop a habit of reading more instead of setting a big goal like reading a book a week, it's just 5 minutes of reading each day. Once that feels easy and becomes a natural part of your routine, you can slowly increase the time or the. It makes it feel a lot more doable and single.
Okay. How can our environment influence the habit we form?
Our environment plays a huge role in shaping our habits because it can either encourage or hinder certain behaviors. For instance, if you want to eat healthier, having nutritious foods easily can make it a lot easier to stick to that habit. On the flip side, if your environment is restrictions, it can be harder to focus on your habits. Tweaking your environment can really make a big difference.
Okay. What are the some example of habit stacking that you can apply in your daily life?
Habit stacking is a rule technique where you attach a new habit to an existing one. For example, you could do a short meditation right after you brush your teeth in the morning, or do a quick right after you finish your coffee. Another example could be writing down one thing you're grateful for right after you set your alarm at night. It helps you build consistency by linking the new habit to something you already do.
Okay. How does celebrating small wins help in creating lasting habit?
Celebrating small wins is a fantastic way to keep up motivation and build positive reinforcement. Each little celebration releases a bit of dopamine, which is that feel good neurotransmitter, and that makes you more likely to repeat the behavior. Over time, these small celebrations help reinforce the habit and make it feel more rewarding, which definitely helps it stick around longer.
Any example about this question?
Sure. For instance, if your goal is to drink more water throughout the day, you could celebrate each time you finish a glass by doing a little happy dance or giving yourself a mental pat on the back. Another example could be after you complete a workout, you treat yourself to a favorite song or a few minutes of relaxation. Those small rewards make the habit feel more enjoyable and help you keep going.
Why is identity based habit building more powerful than goal based habit building?
Identity based habit building is powerful because it focuses on who you want to become rather than just what you want to achieve. When your habits are tied to your identity, we're more likely to stay committed because the habits align with your self image. For example, instead of setting a goal to run a marathon, you focus on becoming a runner. That shift in identity makes it easy to stick with the habit long term because it feels like a natural part of who you are.
Okay, good example. How long do you think it takes to form in new habits and why does it vary from person to person?
The time it takes to form a new habit can really vary, but a common idea is around 21 to 66 days. However, it really depends on the complexity of the habit and individual differences. Some people might find it easier to form habits because of their personality, their environment, or their previous experiences, while others might take a bit longer. The key is consistency and patience.
Okay. What are some bad habits that people commonly struggling to break?
Oh, there are quite a few common ones. Some of the most frequent ones include procrastination, excessive screen time, unhealthy eating habits, smoking, and even nail biting. Immediate comfort or relief, making them a bit harder to let go of.
Any example about daily life in example about daily life? Yes.
Absolutely. For instance, many struggle with the habit of checking their phone first thing in the morning, which can lead to a less focused start to the day. Another example is snacking on unhealthy foods out of habit, even when you're not particularly hungry. These habits can be tough to break because they're ingrained in our daily routines, but just can make a big difference.
Okay. What are some practical way to make good easier to start the and maintain?
There are definitely some practical strategies to make good habits easier to start and stick with. One is to start small, so it feels intimidating. Another is to make the habit as convenient as possible, like putting your workout clothes right by your bed. You can also use reminders, like setting an alarm or leaving a note for yourself. And of course, tracking your progress and rewarding yourself for small milestones can make a difference too.
Okay. What are some practical ways to make good habits easier to start and maintain? Or please
One
give
part,
any example.
absolutely.
Okay. What are some practical way to make good habit easier to start and maintain? Okay. What are the dangers of relying too much on willpower when trying to build habit? Please give me any example. How can tracking progress motivate people to stick with their habits? Okay, thank you very much for your conversation with me.